It's Friday, December 5th.
I hope for, young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles. And I'm, certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Regina Police Service finally has its next chief. We'll hear from her later this hour.
This agreement solidifies the consent and support for our project from the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan. Our project is in the Métis homeland, and having this consent and support is significant for our ability to advance the project.
A northern Saskatchewan uranium mine is one step closer to reality after getting Indigenous consent. The Rough Riders quarterback decides to run it back. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
Happy indeed. My kid does not sleep, so best wishes to all of us. It is Christmas Sweater Fridays here in the month of December. So.
It is. This is one of my favorite parts of the year when we get to wear our Christmas sweaters every Friday and get to the holiday spirit.
And if Trevor Harris is going to resign, you got to wear the Rough Rider one, right? So let's get after this show and get to weather in just a minute. Headlines begin with this. The World Cup draw could help smooth over recent trade tensions, says U.S. President Donald Trump. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum will all be there.
Three North American leaders who've never been in a room together are going to have a visual of a happy moment, drawing some country names for the World Cup. Those of us who are looking for some hope right now, that just maybe, that at the end of the day, the right thing will happen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center today. Carney will also meet separately with the Mexican president. Claudia Sheinbaum is expected to then meet privately with Donald Trump. The event will be the first face-to-face meetings between the leaders ahead of next year's mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. The renegotiation period has been set to take place 6 years after the deal was struck, which was in 2020. Hearings have been taking place in Washington on the upcoming review, with reports that Trump could consider leaving CUSMA altogether. The energy minister didn't participate in the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly as a deal for a potential pipeline took center stage.
The decision was made that some other ministers would come.
All ministers are always welcome. None are ever uninvited.
Energy Minister Tim Hodgson did meet with BC chiefs in a separate caucus room. He listened to their concerns over a pipeline to the West Coast and afterwards said any major projects like a pipeline could only be built with Indigenous consultation. He then has committed to going to BC's northwest coast to meet with communities and chiefs in the near future. The former director of a private Christian school in Saskatoon has been handed a 23-month sentence. Jeremy Dodge, we've been tracking this for a very long time. The very latest, if you could.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, John Olumabokin, he pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon. Now, he admitted he struck high school students with a wooden paddle while working at Christian Center Academy in 2003. Olumabokin is currently serving an 18-month jail sentence in the community for a separate set of assault convictions. This new sentence will be served concurrently. Speaking outside of court, he said while he admits to hitting students, he didn't make the rules. A 9th person has been charged in connection to the death of a man last year. The remains of Tim Tatusis were found the evening of December 18th, 2024, when police were executing a search warrant at a home in the 1700 block of 22nd Street West. Yesterday, members of Saskatoon Police Service's Warrant Enforcement Unit arrested a 26-year-old woman. She has been charged with first-degree murder, offering an indignity to human remains, and unlawful confinement. She is expected to make her first court appearance this morning. And a second man charged in connection with the death of a 31-year-old man made his first court appearance. 39-year-old David Glenn McKenzie charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, assault, and 7 other charges in the death of 31-year-old Chad Romanski. Romanski was reported missing in May. His remains were found near Highway 7 west of Saskatoon in June. McKenzie appeared by telephone and is ordered not to contact a list of 14 people, one of which is his wife. 30-year-old Gage Ulmer Buesler was also charged this week with first-degree murder in relation to Romanski's death. Daryl, new provincial legislation regarding name changes is coming.
That's right, Jeremy. Name changes can be refused for those convicted of a wider range of crimes under the new Saskatchewan legislation. New offenses that can prevent a name change include dangerous, high-risk, or long-term offenders, along with those convicted of fraud, certain drug charges, and murder. Legal name changes will also require a criminal record check and fingerprinting. The province says the changes will help ensure people convicted of crimes can't escape the consequences of their past with a new name. A northern Saskatchewan uranium mine is one step closer to reality after getting Indigenous consent. Denison Mines signed agreements with Métis Nation Saskatchewan to further its Wheeler River project, located 35 kilometers southeast of Cameco's MacArthur mine. Now, the agreements are the latest hurdles for the project after receiving environmental assessment approvals from the province in July. The representatives from Métis Nation Saskatchewan and Denison took part in a ceremony in Saskatoon yesterday, which represents a major milestone before construction starts.
This agreement solidifies the consent and support for our project from the Métis Nation Saskatchewan. Our project is in the Métis homeland, and having this consent and support is significant for our ability to advance the project.
Construction for the mine could begin as soon as next year, with public hearings from the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission wrapping up on next week. The provincial government launched Phase 4 of its Face the Issue campaign at the Kramer IMAX Theatre in Regina on Thursday. A short film was debuted on the big screen, showcasing the role of bystanders in recognizing and responding to interpersonal violence and abuse. Phase 4 encourages family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors to take safe and supportive action when seeing or suspecting abuse.
It's so important for people to realize that just something as simple as saying, I noticed what's going on, I care about you, I'm here for you, do you want to talk? That is so important, and that can change the trajectory of what happens next.
Face the Issue is a multi-phase partnership between the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, along with the Status of Women's Office. This week, a group of retired soldiers were at the Legislative Building calling for the Victoria Cross to be awarded to recognize heroic deeds within the Canadian Armed Forces. The soldiers were acknowledged in the Legislative Assembly, and a motion was passed to call on the Government of Canada to create a board to review cases where the Victoria Cross criteria have been met. There is a wall in the legislature, there it is on your screen, honoring all the soldiers from Saskatchewan who have been awarded the Victoria Cross.
The amount of VCs are on this wall now compared to how many have been issued to Canada, it just speaks volumes to Saskatchewan and, what we've done for this nation. And once again, Saskatchewan's, leading the way by pushing this forward and hopefully getting some federal support to reopen these books. And if somebody does get one, that's the whole goal.
About 100 Victoria Cross medals have been given out, the last one awarded 80 years ago. Atlantic Canada will have to deal with cold and strong winds today.
Started the emergency assistance program a little bit earlier this year, and what we're finding is that, more people are coming to us.
Halifax will have 4 shelters open tonight. PEI is planning to offer temporary shelter space for people in need of a place to stay. The ferry between Nova Scotia and PEI is canceled today. Nova Scotia Power is opening up its emergency operations center. The utility is warning of strong winds today that could bring down power lines in northeastern Nova Scotia and across Cape Breton. Lobster crews in Nova Scotia are boasting some impressive catches just 2 weeks into the season.
I've been seeing 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds so far already early in the season. Normally I don't see the big guys till later in the season.
The size, quality, and quantity is all looking good, they say, this season. The boat returned to the wharf in Eastern Passage with about 1,400 pounds of lobster. From here, they will be grouped by weight and quality, but there could be a short pause in the lobster haul with bitter cold and high winds rolling into the area. Some captains plan to keep their boats tied up until the weather clears. The death toll in the catastrophic floods in parts of Asia has now surpassed 1,500. Rescue teams have been racing to reach survivors isolated by the disaster, and hundreds of people are still unaccounted for. And more rain is on the way, sparking fears of even more devastation. There are also growing calls to fight deforestation, which may have worsened the flooding. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and pop star Katy Perry have made no secret of the fact that they are now dating, but a new photo is providing a new hint at where their relationship may stand. The pair were spotted in Japan earlier this week, and today former Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida shared a photo of a lunch he and his wife shared with the couple. With the caption, he calls Perry Trudeau's partner. Trudeau posted afterwards, saying in part, "Great to see you. Katy and I were so glad to have the chance to sit down with you and Yuko." People magazine says this marks the first time Perry has joined Trudeau in a political capacity. The draw for next year's FIFA World Cup is happening today.
It starts getting tasty, it starts getting tantalizing, and you can start really feeling, where we're going to fit out.
The draw will take place at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. This will determine the early matchups for the tournament. Here's how it works. There will be 48 teams. They'll be divided into 12 groups of 4. For today's draw, each country will be split into 4 pots. Canada is one of the hosts. They will be in pot 1. And we also know Canada will be in Group B. We are teeing up the draw at 8:40 this morning, so stay tuned for that. He broke a record for the best completion percentage in the Grey Cup, and now 39-year-old quarterback Trevor Harris has announced he has no plans to retire just yet, signing a 1-year extension.
Harris, end zone! Touchdown!
Harris helped the Riders to the franchise's 5th Grey Cup this year. It's the 3rd for Harris, although he was, this is the first time he was an actual starting quarterback. During the regular season, he threw 24 touchdowns, 2nd best in his career, leading to a 12-6 record, 1st in the West. Harris and rookie Braden Schrager are the only Rider QBs under contract for the 2026 season. Jake Mayer, Tommy Stevens, and Jack Cohn, set to become free agents in February. So we'll see what happens there. But at least they have their starter back in the fold, and that means maybe we'll have his son TJ back to do the weather again.
I was gonna say, I'm already missing the Riders in the studio.
They're so much fun, and they're not here because it's getting colder. It's not exactly football weather. You get to deliver the good or bad news.
Well, it's not bad for today, at least. It's actually into the weekend that we start to see temperatures dropping a little bit more than what we're seeing today. Right now, a mild start to the day, -5 in Regina. We do have a few flakes in the area to start the day. Winds currently coming in at 17 kilometers per hour for Regina. In Saskatoon, again, a few flakes in the area, winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour, and we're waking up to that temperature of -10 to start the day. Radar and satellite showing that we did have some of those flurries in parts of the central Saskatchewan and southern Saskatchewan yesterday. Into today, we're really only talking about some of that snow in the southwest for the afternoon hours. So once we get past the little bits of flakes that we're seeing in some areas in central and southern Saskatchewan this morning, we're mainly focusing on areas just south of Swift Current into the afternoon. We do clear up for a little bit overnight. This is Saturday at about 1:15 a.m. So not seeing any more of that precipitation, just seeing more of that cloud cover down towards the southwest, and then some more snow coming in from Alberta, also impacting the southwest into tomorrow morning for some points. We're also looking forward to the rest of the weekend. So this is Saturday about 6 p.m. Again, not seeing a lot, but then we also do have some more snow. This system a little bit larger, going to be impacting areas around Saskatoon and Regina for the early morning. Saskatoon, though, looking like we could be clearing up for Sunday afternoon. If you're wondering just how much snow we're going to be seeing down in the southwest today, well, by the end of the day, Swift Current will have about 2 more centimeters of snow on the ground, and then that number does go up slightly by tomorrow morning. So again, getting a little bit of a break throughout the overnight hours, and then some snow returning early tomorrow morning. By the end of this, about 4 more centimeters of snow on the ground. Today's forecast looking a little bit more mild, again, as we mentioned, compared similar to what we saw earlier on this week. We are seeing some nice highs above the seasonal average. -2 for Swift Current today, -3 for Moose Jaw, -4 for Weyburn and Estevan, but a little bit colder up towards the central zones and of course towards the north as well. Battleford's reaching -11 with some winds, -15 for Saskatoon, -12 for Regina, -12 for Prince Albert as well, -8 for Yorkton. Now, if you're wondering when we're expecting some more of that snow, we just mentioned Sunday we could be seeing some more. That starts in the morning for Regina, continuing on into the early parts of the afternoon and then pushing away from the city for the later parts of the afternoon. Tuesday, though, we could be seeing some of that snow all the way throughout that afternoon. In Saskatoon, though, we did mention that we're expecting to see some of those flurries in the early morning. By the afternoon, Saskatoon should not be seeing any more of those flurries, just talking about that mix of sun and cloud. And then Tuesday, again, some more snow on the way. Well, in case you missed it, Germany has its very own Clark Griswold. A family in northwestern Germany has again set the world record for the largest number of decorated Christmas trees in one place. The Record Institute for Germany is confirming they've decorated 621 trees. Yeah, they've broken the same record 6 times before the trees fill the entire house, including the bathroom. Decorating starts in June every year.
I have so many questions. How much do they spend? Where do they keep it all?
You've got to keep it up all year, right?
I guess. Like, do you just throw
You're not taking that down.
You just throw some paint on it and call it a Halloween display for a little bit? And
right.
Move to a different house for all other times of year.
A couple Easter bunnies in the middle for...
yeah.
My goodness. Wow, oh, wow. I guess I won't complain about the 6 trees in my house anymore. It is Christmas Sweater Friday on the show, which means that we want to see yours.
Yeah, and I know that there are some people out there with really amazing Christmas sweaters, so we want to see them. Text us a picture to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. I didn't see, though, Jeremy, are you wearing one today?
Oh, he's got
the
finest of suits.
I don't have Christmas sweaters. I don't know. I'm not really a sweater guy.
We're going to mail you one.
Christmas T-shirts and pajamas.
All right, so next week on Christmas Sweater Friday, we're expecting you to show up in Christmas pajamas now.
Christmas PJs.
All right, all right.
I know Jeff Rogstad has done that on a version of this show in the past. Send us your pictures. We're going to show those. Make sure they're PG, of course. We can't show everything. There's the QR code. We're going to take a look at the city of Saskatoon. We'll be back with the new police chief in a few minutes here on CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday, and for it, we head to the ice. Leafs, Hurricanes, second period. Matthew Knies gets by Shane Gostisbehere, goes down, however, gets up and buries the backhand. An incredible effort from the Leafs winger. Toronto would go on to win 5-1. That is your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN, you can see the Jets take on the Sabres. Coverage starts at 5:30 p.m. Central. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Now we check in with Mike Ziona, who just might have the best assignment of them all this Friday. Mike?
I think I certainly do, Jeremy. We're down here at Hardin and House Chocolates with Claude Hardin. In fact, the namesake of Hardin and House here. And I mean, it just feels like Christmas and chocolates are a perfect pairing.
Well, we must be doing something right then, because this is a big season for us, for sure.
Fantastic. Now, we're looking here. I mean, you've got absolutely everything. Santa sleighs to Yule logs, Christmas trees, and these are, of course, all absolutely top shelf quality chocolates. Tell us the story.
Well, chocolate actually in my family began with my father. You know, he's the Belgian guy in the family who decided that Belgian chocolates needed to find their way to Saskatoon. So, in fact, they were doing travel at the time over at Sinfonia Travel, and the chocolate shop was born out of that. And he was already plugged into business in Saskatoon, and he thought, well, let's do this. I've got 2 boys. Let's put them to work.
Fantastic. And then obviously that generation and that legacy continues on here into the present day, which we love to see. Just maybe talk about the quality of the chocolate and that true Belgian experience.
Okay, well, yeah, it's an interesting story. I mean, chocolate's ubiquitous. We see it everywhere we go when you're traveling around. But the Belgian chocolate is kind of, we like to think that in Europe, the French tend to like bitter chocolate. The Swiss invented milk chocolate. So the Belgians like to say we're that happy middle, in the middle. And so the quality is something that, it's something to really be tasted. You know, there's a lot of natural cocoa butter in high quality chocolates, and it melts really quickly in your mouth. So that feel in your mouth is something that chocolate has to be experienced.
No doubt about it. Fantastic. I don't know if I can even speak now because I'm salivating just listening to that and being at this proximity to this fantastic stuff. We'll be talking about it all morning long. We haven't even, there's baskets, there's so much more that we haven't even explored here, but you'll just have to stay tuned.
Yeah, my mouth is watering as well, Mike. Have a great morning. We'll see you a little later on.
Time now for a look at your school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, not a bad start to the day. Pretty mild, -5 right now. A few clouds right now. -10 in Saskatoon to start the day, so a little bit colder, but still not as cold as what we have been seeing in the past few days. By lunchtime, both cities will be at that expected daytime high. -12 for Regina and -15 for Saskatoon. And we're carrying those temperatures into about 3 o'clock at final bell. Winds, though, going to be slightly increased from what we have been seeing in the past few days, more so down towards the south, with Regina reaching winds of up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at these gas prices as we head to the break right now. The common price in Regina, $129.9. The lowest you might find, though, is $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, $135.9, and the lowest you might find is $124.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $561.72 per ton, and the futures price at $624.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat starting the day at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $248.38 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. It's now at 71.67 cents U.S. On the other side of the break, we sit down with Regina's new chief of police. Stay with us.
Regina Police Service has a brand new chief. Lorelei Davies officially assumed the role. She's held twice on an interim basis yesterday, and she's in studio with us this morning. Thank you so much for doing this, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
How does it feel to assume this role that you've done a couple of times now on a full-time basis?
Yeah, it's really humbling. I'm obviously very grateful. You know, I said yesterday, it's kind of, you know, like, what was the difference between interim and permanent? I said when it's interim, it's kind of like you were house sitting for somebody, right? Like, you make sure the grass is mowed and, you know, that the dishes are done and all of the sort of day-to-day things, but there's nothing sort of strategic. So if your neighbor says, hey, let's build a fence, you're like, well, I don't really have the authority to do that. Or, you know, if you want to change landscaping. So I'm excited for what's ahead and just, yeah, the opportunity to do it in a permanent way, I think it is, yeah, I'm so grateful.
The service has made headlines in the last few months for obviously some not so great reasons. How do you restore faith for the public?
Yeah, it's really about being there for community. You know, being present in the community, talking to community members, really being there in good times and in difficult times, and just showing that we're here for the long haul. We're not flash in the pan, and that we're here to work with the community to ensure that we have a great city.
Pretty cool that you've been with the service for almost 30 years. You've done it all, and now you've assumed this. You've climbed the ranks to the top office.
Yeah, it's a little bit surreal. You know, certainly when I started there 29 years ago, it wasn't ever something that I thought, ooh, one day I'm going to be the chief. But, you know, I think you work hard and you care about people, and it naturally leads you on a good path.
You spent a lot of time with Evan Bray when he was the police chief in this city. He was at the announcement yesterday. What did that mean to you, and what did you learn from Evan along the way?
Yeah, it was really special to have him there. He was a huge supporter and great mentor of mine, and really from him is caring about your people, making sure you're taking care of our members, because when they are healthy and happy, then they provide better service to the community. So that was something that he very much instilled in me.
What are the biggest problems that our city is facing right now?
It's so complex. We have a lot of folks with complex issues, addictions, there's homelessness, mental health concerns, and so, you know, those aren't traditionally police roles, but we find ourselves drawn into that because at 2 in the morning.
Who do you call?
Right, exactly. And so working with our partners, figuring out what are some other solutions, how do we get people on a pathway to recovery, and I think that that's probably one of the biggest things, but, you know, gun crime obviously is huge. The amount of fentanyl in our city, something that clearly we're interested in taking those drugs off the streets. So there's lots of work ahead.
Can't have you here and you not assume the top job as the first female to lead the service and not ask you your message to young girls out there who may be looking at careers that are not traditionally female-driven.
Well, I mentioned yesterday we had the privilege earlier this year of having Jessica Campbell come and do a leadership talk with us. She's, of course, the assistant coach for the Seattle Kraken, and her motto is, if you can see it, you can be it. And I really feel that. So, you know, I'm hoping that if there are young girls, young women out there that are like, hey, you know, my pathway isn't something that I've seen people previously in that role, that hopefully it's something that they consider and that they see that there are a lot of doors open for them.
Well, congratulations, and let's do this again soon.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
All right, turning our attention now to this weather picture. The sun not fully up yet. Of course, we're not really going to be seeing that for about another 2 hours. So enjoy the calm stillness of this morning. In Regina, a very mild start to the day. We're at -4. A few flakes in the area, though, so definitely give yourself some time out on your commute this morning. Again, seeing some more flakes over in the Saskatoon area. -10 is where we're waking up. Both cities also seeing some of those clouds going to be carrying us into the weekend. But if we're talking about the snow, we're really only going to be seeing that actually falling in any significant amounts down in the southwest corner today. Areas even farther south than Swift Current going to be seeing those flurries. About 2 centimeters expected today and about 2 more centimeters expected tomorrow, as you can see on our screen. Right when we think it's clearing up, it returns right back to us. So if you are waking up with us from Swift Current this morning, just be prepared for some of those flakes. We're also talking about a larger system that's going to be coming in from Alberta, tracking eastward. It's going to be bringing some flurries to the Saskatoon area, the Prince Albert area, and Regina, of course. This is starting in the early morning on Sunday. It's going to be pushing away from Saskatoon throughout the afternoon. Regina could likely still be seeing some of those flurries into the afternoon hours, though. Current temperatures now looking surprisingly a little bit warmer than what we saw in the past couple days. Stony Rapids at -23, but at least they're not at that -35 that we saw 2 days ago at this time. -17 in La Ronge right now, -12 in Prince Albert, -11 waking us up in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we are seeing warmer temperatures to start the day, and this trend is going to continue into the afternoon as well. -2 right now in East End, -3 in Assiniboia, -6 in Estevan to start the day. Later on this afternoon, -2 for Swift Current, -4 for Weyburn, and -4 for Estevan. These temperatures starting around noon, carrying us into about 3 o'clock before they start to go down. Up through Prince Albert, -12, Saskatoon, -15, and Yorkton, -8. Now, Regina's high today is -12 with that mix of sun and cloud. Tomorrow, it's going to be colder, -16. Wind chill, of course, going to be a factor, making it feel colder. -11 on Sunday. Again, we just talked about those flurries that we could see into the afternoon hours, and then some more on the way for Tuesday, but at least we are seeing warmer temperatures for the afternoon. In Saskatoon, -15 today, dropping down to -21 tomorrow, so it is going to be a cold start to the weekend. Sunday, we do see a bit of an improvement with those temperatures. Monday, -9, -7 on Tuesday, and that is the day that we do have some more flurries on the way. -14 on Wednesday, and some more snow on the way for Saskatoon on Thursday, -15.
Business news. Netflix appears to be closing in on a deal to buy the film and streaming business of Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix has emerged as the top bidder ahead of Comcast and Paramount Skydance. The process started in October with Warner Brothers hoping to have a deal in place later this month. If that deal is finalized, Netflix would acquire Time Warner Brothers Studios and HBO Max streaming assets. Paramount had made the initial bid to buy the whole company, which was rejected before Warner Brothers put itself up for sale. A report from Moneris shows Saskatchewan residents spent 1% more than last year on Black Friday. Transaction data shows in Saskatchewan total spending week over week climbed 36% on Black Friday. The total number of transactions grew 5%, and the average size of each transaction was 29% higher week over week. A survey collecting consumer plans for this holiday season shows 3 in 10 residents in our province plan to spend less this year than the last holiday season, while 6% plan to spend more. EQ Bank has a deal in place to buy PC Financial. So what does that mean for your points, your optimum points? Well, EQB is buying PC Financial from Loblaw for $800 million. As part of the deal, it will become the exclusive financial partner of the loyalty program. PC Financial members are being told nothing will change for now. They can still collect them and redeem optimum points as usual. The app is also not changing. Customers will be told how the brands plan to integrate after the sale is approved. PC Optimum has more than 17 million members.
The Saskatchewan Rush kick off another National Lacrosse League season tomorrow night at SaskTel Center, and I'm joined now by the play-by-play voice of the Rush, Cody Jansen. Cody, thank you for getting up early for us this morning.
Hey, always a pleasure.
Okay, so let's go. At the start of the season, we have to look back at where we ended last year, right? A disappointing final game, but that season, 24-25, was a major turnaround for the team, and I got to think there's optimism heading into this one.
Yeah, now the bar is set high. Right now, the expectation isn't just to make the playoffs. Now the bar is set at this team is gunning to win a championship, right? It's no longer good enough just to get back to the dance. They want to seal the deal, and that's a good sight, especially if you're a Rush fan, because the previous seasons, it's been a bit of a rebuild, retool, and now you've got a group that went out and got free agents a year ago that is primed to push for a championship.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of that personnel. I mean, longtime fans know Ryan Keenan, Robert Church, Rush legends at this point. But last year, we got to know names like Austin Shanks and Matt Hossack a bit. So talk about the makeup of this team and who we should watch this season.
I think if you look at Game 3 of the NLL Championship last year, there's only going to be one name getting swamped out of that lineup, and that's Mike Triolo, because he got traded to Buffalo. So you'll see a couple newcomers like Levi Anderson, Josh Zawada come in. First-round pick Levi Virch, a big, mean defender. He's going to be in the lineup potentially this year. Matt Accioni should get a little bit more playing time. But other than that, the mainstays are still here. You got top goaltender Frank Scigliano, who put up a sub-800 save percentage all season long. He was one of their most consistent forces. You've got Zach Mans, who is their second highest scorer in the playoffs. He's going to continue to find new gears as he just gets older and get into his prime. And then you've got Jake Boudreau, one of the best transition players, if not the best transition player in the league. He had 6 goals in the playoffs last year alone. He is prepped and ready, and just seeing how he's rebuilt himself over the summer. Him and Brock Haley have each put on 15+ pounds. They're looking fast out there. I think those are 2 names we're going to hear a ton from.
Oh man, watching some of this footage, even though it ended poorly last year, watching the Rush in action in this B-roll is exciting. I'm getting amped. So it's tomorrow night, Battle of the Prairies to kick off the season. How is this Calgary team looking this year?
Calgary's turned over a lot of players. They pretty much went to rebuild mode. Vancouver took a lot of their veterans in the offseason who were free agents. And so what Calgary said is, hey, then we're going to get a bunch of draft picks. We're going to get a bunch of young players, and we're going to rebuild this Roughnecks team. And so they're going to be young, fast, and it's just always a gritty game. You never see blowouts when these 2 teams play, so you know it's going to be close. They've still got, a solid goaltender bringing in Aiden Walsh. They've got good forwards in Tyler Pace, Braden Maillet, Tanner Cook. So they still have a ton of weapons. This is no slouch of a team by any means. But anytime it's Calgary, Saskatchewan, I think, everything's on the table. One thing is for certain, though, it's going to be physical, and these 2 teams still hate each other.
Okay, good. That's what we like to see. 7 p.m. face-off at SaskTel Center tomorrow. If we can't make it really quickly, Cody, where can we find you, John Fraser, and Heather Morrison with the call?
Yeah, all season long, NLL Plus, it's free to watch. And then you got TSN Plus and ESPN Plus worldwide.
All right, thank you, sir. Best of luck on a new season.
Always a pleasure.
All right, let's go out live to Janelle Lippi. We know she's a star, and now she's found a stage. Janelle, good morning.
Good morning. I am coming to you this morning from Sask Express right here in Regina. We are, yesterday was the launch day of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now let's talk a little bit about where people can get those tickets because there is still time. I've got Danny and I've got Sadie with me. Let's start with you, Danny. Tell me about those tickets.
Yes, well, you can get tickets if you go to saskexpress.com. There is a banner that says Hunchback of Notre Dame, and all of our performances and where to get tickets are right there. We have shows here in Regina from we had opening night last night, and then we go until the 14th, but you'll see the dates. It's from the 4th to 7th and then 11th to 14th. And then we have a show on the 15th in Yorkton and then on the 17th in Moose Jaw, so people can see it who are out of town, and it'll be great.
Awesome. So an opportunity for everybody to come experience that. That sounds fantastic. Now, Sadie, you are one of the performers. What are you most excited about people coming to see in it?
I'm most excited to share this heartfelt story and with all of Regina and just share this wonderful piece of art.
That's fantastic. And how has the prep been like for it?
It has been, like all theater shows, crazy but wonderful experience.
Awesome. Well, I can tell that a ton of hard work has gone into this. Lots of exciting stuff ahead. Thank you both so much. We will be back in just a little bit in the next hour.
Thank you.
Tens of millions of women are behind on recommended screenings, even though, according to a recent Hologic Gallup survey, 90% recognize their importance. This gap, called the Screening Action Gap, increases a risk of missing early, treatable health conditions. Recommended screenings include mammograms every 2 years beginning at age 40 to check for breast cancer, Pap tests every 3 years from age 21 to spot cervical cancer, HPV testing beginning at 30, colorectal cancer beginning at 45, an annual test for sexually transmitted infections for those under 25 and sexually active, bone density testing at 65 or earlier if postmenopausal, diabetes screening at 45, and last but not least, regular checks for blood pressure and cholesterol. Though it may sound like a lot, if you stay on top of scheduling, it's only a few extra medical visits and well worth the effort for nipping serious health issues in the bud. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Stone.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
It's December 5th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Luke. He's turning 8 years old today. We hope you have an awesome day. This shout out coming from your grandpa and your Oma. And turning 1 year older than that, Theodore is turning 9 years old today. Happy birthday to you with lots of love from your mom and dad. Also celebrating today is Furious K. Happy 7th birthday. You have a lot of love and well wishes coming your way from mom, dad, and baby Tegan. Enjoy. Happy 40th birthday to Mike. We hope you have a fantastic day and fantastic year ahead. Lots of love from your mom, Steve, DJ, and family. Turning 30 years old today is Haley. Happy birthday to you. Your family wrote in to send you love and well wishes and wrote that they hope you have a wonderful birthday today. And celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today is Dennis and Martha of Esterhazy. Lots of love coming from your daughter Amanda, grandchildren, and great-grandchild. We hope you have a great day. And looking forward to the weekend, another 50th wedding anniversary to celebrate. Linda and Bob Hayes of Prince Albert are marking 50 years of love and devotion tomorrow. Congratulations. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now. But remember, please send those in 1 day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
Let's bring in our radio friends at Pure Country 92.7. Sorry, I didn't send you the memo. It's Christmas Sweater Fridays. So for the next hour, you can go and grab one.
We don't have that stashed in the studio for some reason here.
That's literally the only thing you don't have stashed in that studio.
Pretty much. Yes, exactly.
What's going on the radio today?
I'll try my best here. We're getting ready to shake the tree. So we got some Christmas spirit going on. Next hour, honestly, everyone except one person has had like great plays on this. Only one had to set timber down yesterday, Michaela won some Johnny Reed tickets and then $500 to Charm Diamond Center. We've given away CCMA passes earlier in the week, too. So get ready at 7:40. You get to shake the tree, keep everything that falls out. But remember, if it timbers, you lose all of the prizes. On top of that, too, all of the rap lists coming out for 2025, like the top Google searches. So we want to know last thing that you Googled. You can text that into 54321 and we'll share some of the top trending ones for Canadians this year.
Sidebar time, and we begin with the mom's reaction to being pranked by her daughters. Take a look.
I need to go to the doctor. I truly need to. I need to go to the doctor. I don't remember any of these pictures. Are you on this 2 times?
So she thought she was losing her mind. Her daughters convinced her she wore a turkey costume last year with their grandkids, and she wanted her to do it again, but it was AI.
So this has become a trend online on TikTok. Some of the videos are so funny, but this is your warning if you're watching right now and any of your kids or grandchildren say, oh, I love that turkey costume you wore last year, and you're thinking, no, I didn't. This is a prank.
Because no, you didn't. Oh, man, AI can be fun. It can also be kind of dangerous.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well, here's
scary.
We're going to put a turkey costume on you.
Here's a block party, but Brooklyn style. Call this a stoop session. It's the ultimate block party with a live band, huge sound system, lights, a huge crowd singing. This is a neo-soul stoop session held by an organization called the Soapbox Presence, and they put these parties on every Saturday. How fun.
Looks like filming for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big production. Awesome.
Goodness.
I'm sure there's people that go every Saturday and they say, I have to go to the stoop session.
I would. That sounds really cool saying it, too. JD, one more from you.
All right. More pranks, all right? This time, people pranking pets.
Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my God, congrats.
Wow.
This cat seems surprised by the news, especially since it's a male cat.
Right.
That was joking. Hilarious, I'm sure.
Time out. We got your weather forecast and more news right after this as CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan continues. It's finally Friday, December 5th.
The route to the final, semi-finals, the quarter-finals. So all of those aspects really start from here up on this stage.
There could be trade talks on the sidelines of today's World Cup draw. The leaders of Canada, U.S., and Mexico is set to meet face-to-face in Washington.
I hope for young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles, and I'm certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Regina Police Service finally has its next chief. Rough Riders quarterback decides to give it one more year. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen.
And I just discovered something that bothers Kayleen.
He had his laptop all the way down.
I said, why
do you do that?
That's the end of days for her. I want to show off something I got yesterday. I was part of the crew who worked for the Regina Red Sox this year, doing a little public address announcing, much to the chagrin, of course, of the Saskatoon Berries. But they gave all of the staff championship rings, and they say on the side, championship crew.
Look at you. You're part of the championship crew.
It was totally unexpected. They beat the Sylvan Lake Gulls in the championship final. It was so long ago, I actually forgot that they won, which Gary Brotzel's going to hate. But thank you so much for this. This is awesome. Not baseball weather today.
Yeah, no, it's great bling. But yeah, definitely not the day to be heading out to play some baseball. We are seeing some flurries down in the southwest and colder temperatures tomorrow, though. So enjoy today. It's more mild.
I'm going to leave my computer like this for the rest of the show.
No, that's going to bother me.
Yeah, that's good. Let's get to news. All right, we start with U.S. President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Mark Carney, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum meeting in person today. Maybe.
Three North American leaders who've never been in a room together are going to have a visual of a happy moment, drawing some country names for the World Cup. Those of us who are looking for some hope right now, that just maybe, that at the end of the day, the right thing will happen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with the U.S. President at the Kennedy Center today. He will also meet separately with the Mexican President. Claudia Sheinbaum is then expected to meet with Donald Trump privately. The event will be the first face-to-face meetings between the leaders ahead of next year's mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. The renegotiation period was set for 6 years, which is coming up because it was signed in 2020. Hearings have been taking place in Washington on the upcoming review, with reports that Trump could be considering leaving the pact altogether. The energy minister in this country didn't participate in the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly as a deal for a potential pipeline took center stage.
The decision was made that some other ministers would come.
All ministers are always welcome. None are ever uninvited.
Energy Minister Tim Hodgson did meet with the BC Chiefs in a separate caucus room. He listened to their concerns over a pipeline to the West Coast and afterwards said any major projects like a pipeline could only be built with Indigenous consultation. He has committed to going to BC's Northwest Coast to meet with the communities and chiefs in the near future. Name changes can be refused for those convicted of a wider range of crimes under new Saskatchewan legislation. New offenses that can prevent a name change include dangerous, high-risk, or long-term offenders, along with those convicted of fraud, certain drug charges, and murder. Legal name changes will also require a criminal record check and fingerprinting. The province says the changes will help ensure people convicted of crimes can't escape the consequences of their past with a new name. The provincial government launched Phase 4 of its Face the Issue campaign at the Kramer IMAX Theatre in Regina on Thursday. A short film was debuted on the big screen showcasing the role of bystanders in recognizing and responding to interpersonal violence and abuse. Phase 4 encourages family members, friends, colleagues, and neighbors to take safe and supportive action when seeing or suspecting abuse.
It's so important for people to realize that just something as simple as saying, I noticed what's going on, I care about you, I'm here for you, do you want to talk? That is so important, and that can change the trajectory of what happens next.
Face the Issue is a multi-phase partnership between the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, along with the Status of Women's Office. A northern Saskatchewan uranium mine is one step closer to reality after getting Indigenous consent. Denison Mines signed agreements with the Métis Nation Saskatchewan to further its Wheeler River project, located 35 kilometers southeast of Cameco's MacArthur mine. The agreements are the latest hurdles for the project to clear after receiving environmental assessment approvals from the province in July. Representatives from Métis Nation Saskatchewan and Denison took part in a ceremony in Saskatoon yesterday, which represents a major milestone before construction can begin.
This agreement solidifies the consent and support for our project from the Métis Nation Saskatchewan. Our project is in the Métis homeland, and having this consent and support is significant for our ability to advance the project.
Construction for the mine could begin as soon as next year, with public hearings from the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission wrapping up next week. This week, a group of retired soldiers were at the legislature calling for the Victoria Cross to be awarded to recognize heroic deeds within the Canadian Armed Forces. The soldiers were acknowledged in the Legislative Assembly, and a motion was passed to call on the Government of Canada to create a board to review cases where the Victoria Cross criteria have been met. There is a wall in the legislative building, there it is on your screen, honoring the soldiers from Saskatchewan who have been awarded the Victoria Cross.
The
The amount of VCs are on this wall now compared to how many have been issued to Canada, it just speaks volumes to Saskatchewan and, what we've done for this nation. And once again, Saskatchewan's, leading the way by pushing this forward and hopefully getting some federal support to reopen these books. And if somebody does get one, that's the whole goal.
About 100 Victoria Cross medals have been given out. The last one awarded was 80 years ago. The former director of a private Christian school in Saskatoon has been handed a jail sentence. Jeremy Dodge, we've been tracking this for some time, and now we finally have some conclusion.
Yeah, Daryl, and for the first time, we're actually hearing from the former director of the private Christian school embroiled in abuse allegations. The former staffer says while he admits to hitting students, he didn't make the rules. Laura Woodward has the details.
The volleyball incident happened in October of 2003.
The former director of a Saskatoon private Christian school admits he used a paddle to hit 5 members of the school's volleyball team. The 65-year-old worked as the director of Christian Center Academy, rebranded as Legacy Christian Academy and now known as Valor Academy. John Olababoken says he received a 200-page manual on child training and was ordered by his boss to paddle students.
I accept responsibility for my actions, but I didn't make the rules, and I was told what to do.
Olababoken pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon. He's already serving an 18-month sentence for a separate set of assault convictions. The new sentence will run concurrently, plus an additional 5 months.
Just happy to have the courts acknowledge that this was wrong and it was a criminal act. I think that is just really powerful for anyone who has been in the same situation or attended, the school.
Olababoken's lawyer says he's considering appealing the decision.
The imposition of a conditional sentence may be overly harsh.
The defense has 30 days to file a notice of appeal. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The faculty members.
All right, Daryl, back to you. And it is a big day in the soccer world.
That's right, JD. The beautiful game will be in the spotlight around the world today as the much-anticipated draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup takes place just a few hours from now.
It starts getting tasty, it starts getting tantalising, and you can start really feeling, where we're going to fit out.
The roadmap for the tournament will unfold in Washington, D.C., where the Prime Minister, as we mentioned, and the U.S. President, along with the Mexican President, will be in attendance. Representing the host nations, the draw will divide the 48 teams into 12 groups. The teams will then be drawn from the pots based on ranking. The official match schedule, including the teams that will play in Toronto and Vancouver, will be announced tomorrow. We are teeing up the draw at 8:40 this morning, so stay tuned for that. He broke a record for completion percentage in the Grey Cup, and now the 39-year-old Saskatchewan Rough Riders quarterback has signed an extension.
Harris, end zone! Touchdown!
Trevor Harris helped the Riders win the franchise's 5th Grey Cup this year. It's the 3rd for Harris, although the first as a starter. During the regular season, he threw for 24 touchdowns, second best in his CFL career, leading the Riders to a 12-6 record, first in the West. Harris and rookie Braden Schrager are the only quarterbacks under contract for the 2026 season. They still have to work on contracts for Jake Mayer, Tommy Stevens, and Jack Cohn if they want to bring them back. They are set to become free agents in February. Let's get over to the Weather Center. It was a little bit of a frigid start, and my goodness, you can't see much behind you today.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to see that beautiful winter wonderland, I hope you're hungry for nothing. We have not great visibility out our sky cabin this morning. However, temperatures really mild compared to what we have been seeing at this time in the morning. We're at -5 in Regina right now with some fog to wake us up. Definitely take your time if you're heading out for your morning commute. We do have winds that are elevated quite a bit from what we also see typically around this time of day. 37-kilometer-per-hour winds right now in Regina. In Saskatoon, a lot more clear to start the day, but it is colder. We're at -12 right now, and winds coming in at 30 kilometers per hour. The sun isn't going to be up until just past 8:30 this morning, so don't be holding your breath for that anytime soon, but we do have some clouds to start the day. Radar and satellite showing that we did see some flurries in central and southern Saskatchewan yesterday into the overnight hours and into early this morning. So again, this is what you can blame for all those flurries out your window in some places this morning. Into the afternoon, though, we're not really talking about any of those flurries anywhere other than down in that southwest corner. So areas even farther south than Swift Current there, going to be seeing about 2 centimeters of snow likely in the afternoon and a little bit more overnight. When that system clears, we are going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud there, but then we are going to be seeing some more flurries tomorrow as well, and still impacting that southwest corner. Into the weekend, we're talking about some snow coming in for Sunday morning. That's going to be impacting Saskatoon for the morning, Regina for the morning, and then into the afternoon hours as well. So we just mentioned that by the end of the day, Swift Current can expect about 2 centimeters in areas even farther south than Swift Current. But by tomorrow morning, those numbers are going to double up to about 4 centimeters of snow. So keep that in mind if you are waking up with us from that southwest corner. Temperature is going to be a little bit warmer down towards the south today as well. -2 for Swift Current, -3 for Moose Jaw, -4 for Weyburn and Estevan. Keeping in mind that the average for this time of year in Saskatchewan is about -7. So you can put that into comparison when we're looking at those temperatures. Regina -12 this afternoon, -8 for Yorkton, -15 for Saskatoon, and -12 for Prince Albert. The 5-day forecast does have some more snow in it. So we just talked about Sunday. Going to start in the morning for Regina, continuing on into the afternoon. Tuesday, we're going to be seeing some more snow falling in the afternoon, but temperatures are going to be getting a little bit warmer for our next work week. In Saskatoon, we just talked about some snow on Sunday morning for Saskatoon, but the afternoon, we're going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud, and then again, some more snow on the way for Tuesday. The coldest day in the 5-day forecast is going to be Saturday, and that's across the board in Saskatchewan. Time now for a look at this rural forecast. We're seeing temperatures that are below the seasonal average in central Saskatchewan. Spiritwood -14. We are seeing some increased winds there this afternoon. -15 for Watrous, -11 for Wynyard. Down towards the south, we are seeing warmer temperatures. -1 for Easton Cypress, 0 degrees for Maple Creek, and -3 for Rockland. However, about 2 centimeters of snow going to be falling this afternoon down in that southwest corner. Over to the east, Carlisle -7 with the mix of sun and cloud, and Broadview with that cloud cover up to -7 this afternoon. Let's take a look at Borden, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. -15 is the high today. Sun and clouds throughout the afternoon, and winds coming in up to about 25 kilometers per hour.
It does not get any sweeter than our holiday haul. So let's get back out to Mike Siona, hanging out at Hardin House Chocolates this morning. Mike.
Yes, and we're back here in the packaging room now, where the magic gets wrapped up here at Hardin House by hand. Claude Hardin joins us again, along with our wonderful, wonderful wrappers here and chocolatiers. I mean, it's great to see it. And this was all happening live here. Claude, talk to me about the family-oriented part of this business, because that's what's central to it all.
Well, when you're in the chocolate business, one of the easy things to do is to recruit your family. So. And also the family of your friends. So that really has made us over the years a kind of a family-oriented place. Not to mention that a lot of our customers are coming in here to purchase chocolates to look after their family. So it's really something of a theme, and it's really over the years grown into, as we've existed and become an older business, people have come back to us after going out somewhere else. And so it's also a place where people like to work. We have a nice, strong work family. And yeah, I mean, I think we've said it a few times, but there you have it.
Yeah, and you're just rooted in community, right? I mean, and we've been talking all morning off camera, and it's too bad we couldn't share with you guys the last hour of our chat, but it really is that blend between business and community and, client as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, right? Because we're here and we're technically a chocolate business, but in fact, we're really a relationship business. And the relationships that we've made in our community, with other businesses and families has been ultimately the most rewarding thing that has ever happened to me in work.
There you go. It's fantastic. I mean, here we are talking about the holiday gift guide here, the holiday haul, and we haven't mentioned all of the boxes of chocolates, all of the variety of different things that you can come down and buy, because that's kind of been the secondary theme here. We're talking about the experience. We're talking about the tastes and the flavor of chocolate. I mean, it is just a hub and a bustle of activity down here. Oh, and by the way, you guys, these 46 we got to get mailed out here. We've got 41 more for delivery here. So we got lots of work going on here. Don't think that we're just having coffee and eating chocolate. All right, Jeremy, we're busy.
All right, Mike, roll up your sleeves, and yeah, you're a good worker. They'll be happy to have you. We'll see you later on.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday, and for it, we head to the ice. Leafs, Hurricanes, second period. Matthew Nyes gets by Shane Gostisbehere, goes down, however, gets up and buries the backhand. An incredible effort from the Leafs winger. Toronto would go on to win 5-1. That is your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN, you can see the Jets take on the Sabres. Coverage starts at 5:30 p.m. Central. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, don't confuse this swim with a one-off Christmas dip. The group calls themselves the Seagulls Association. They're in Croatia and are regulars in the chilly Adriatic Sea. They've been going for swims in the sea for 22 years and are encouraging other people to start doing it. They also do an annual January 1st swim, which has become super popular. The local hotels even offer a chance to swim with the group. Would you do it?
Yes, I was just going to say I have done the polar plunge before.
Oh, you've done that? Okay.
And I thought it was very refreshing to get into a big pot of cold water.
It certainly wakes you up.
Yeah, no kidding. The hot tub afterwards is a nice treat, too. Usually, I don't see one in this area.
I think this is a great idea. I'm on board.
Oh.
I am too.
That sculpture had a seagull on it. Question of the day, we're looking for your Christmas sweaters. It's Christmas Sweater Friday. Every December we wear sweaters every Friday, and we're doing it today. Karen wanted to know where I got mine. It was a reseller.
Oh, was it a Marketplace special?
Oh, yeah.
I love Marketplace.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Good deal.
if you see me showing up at your doorstep to buy your used stuff, don't be surprised. I'm always buying things off Marketplace.
And estate sales.
Yes.
Do we have any answers? Anybody wake up?
No one sent us their Christmas sweaters this morning, so it's just us sitting here alone in our Christmas sweaters.
Here we are.
We want to hear from you. Show us pictures of your Christmas sweaters. Text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen. I would love to share some pictures of Christmas sweaters at about 8:15.
All right, whiteboard's ready. Time for our morning mystery. We didn't do our, you know, the ones when you were a kid, they smelled?
Yeah, these ones don't, but we'll smell them every morning.
We sure do.
No.
Clue number one.
No.
Many people in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia believe the song was written there. Clue number two, it was said Meredith Willson was staying at Yarmouth's Grand Hotel when he created it. It refers to a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. The park being Frost Park, directly across the road from the Grand Hotel. What Christmas song might this be?
These Christmas song ones are killing me because there's so many.
Okay, so it's either, I'm down to Oh Christmas Tree or one. I'm going to go with the other one.
I know my answer is wrong.
This is a wild guess.
This is really long.
Yeah.
Look at the people at home watching us
I think
trying
we're
to scribble on
guessing
our
the same
boards.
thing, Daryl. This is long.
Yeah. Okay, you went. I went a different direction. I went looked like a lot like Christmas with the frosting of the trees.
I said Frosty the Snowman, which I know
which also is good.
But
what
I drew a snowman.
It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It was originally titled. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Look at that.
Oh.
Sung by Bing Crosby.
All right. Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
School day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -5, so a mild start to the day, not bad. -12 in Saskatoon. By lunchtime, we'll be at those expected daytime highs for the afternoons. That is -12 for Regina and -15 by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, -12 for Regina, -15 still in Saskatoon. Of course, wind chill going to be a factor, making it feel around -20. So definitely still bundle up. We are also talking about those winds for some areas. Regina could be seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price this morning is $129.9. The lowest you might find, though, is $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, $135.9. The lowest you might find is $124.9. Over to the farm markets now, where the street price of canola is at $561.72 per ton, and the futures price at $624.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $248.38 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. We're now at 71.67 cents US. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is just about 7:30 on your Friday. The Moose Jaw Police Service is investigating a private wellness center after a Saskatchewan NDP claim that a patient was mistreated. The concerns raised stem from an American citizen who moved to the city seeking help for conditions of ALS, according to an investigation that was done by the CBC. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
A police investigation is underway in Moose Jaw after the NDP raised its concerns about a private health center to the Moose Jaw police.
This is not health care. This is inhumane.
The NDP is also calling for action from the provincial government to regulate the center following an investigation by the CBC surrounding a woman's death after seeking treatment there.
The minister said there was nothing he could do about it. I think there's a lot he could do about it. This should not be happening in Saskatchewan.
The report details the story of a 70-year-old American woman diagnosed with ALS who traveled to Moose Jaw for treatment at Diane Goodnow Restorative Health Center. In the report, her family alleges she did not receive the treatment she was promised, despite paying the center $84,000 US. The center is currently involved in legal action against the CBC over its reporting.
There is health center written on the side of the building. People are expecting health care is being delivered in this facility when they show up. ALS patients aren't showing up because they need a room to live in. There is an expectation that they are receiving care here. There is an expectation that the government is regulating health care in this province.
In a statement to CTV News, Goodnow extends his condolences to the woman's family and loved ones. He says she was already severely ill with an undiagnosed case of COVID when she arrived in Moose Jaw, for which she was treated in hospital and released, adding her health and strength improved over the 3 months that followed. Prior to being discharged, Goodnow says the woman asked to have a feeding tube inserted, but because the center is not a medical clinic and does not perform surgical procedures, she was referred to the local hospital. However, Goodnow says hospital staff declined to perform the procedure as it wasn't medically necessary. According to Goodnow, the woman was discharged from the hospital and traveled to Montana, dying several weeks after leaving Moose Jaw. Earlier this week, Saskatchewan's health minister said it would direct the concerns to the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Saskatchewan and the Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority.
My understanding is that the Moose Jaw Police have been in receipt of information. I believe the FCAA is also in receipt of information. And if those independent bodies conduct an investigation and yield results that warrant the College of Physician Surgeons to get involved, then I expect fully that they would share those in the results of their investigation.
CTV News reached out to the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Saskatchewan and the Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority, but did not receive a response before deadline. Because this is now an active investigation, Moose Jaw Police Service says it will not be providing any further comment at this time. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
8 months after former police chief Farouk Sheikh in Regina was replaced on leave for complaints of misconduct, a new leader announced for the service. Donovan Mace was there.
The Regina Police Service has a new commander.
The Board of Police Commissioners is pleased to announce the new permanent Chief of Police for the Regina Police Service, Laura Lee Davies.
Davies assumes the role with nearly 30 years of experience within the service.
I'm here for you. You have my commitment to continue our focus on member wellness, fostering inclusivity and belonging.
As the 16th chief in Regina Police history, she is the first woman to have the title and the first woman to be appointed chief of a Saskatchewan police force, according to the city.
I hope for young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles, and I'm certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Davies has held the role as acting chief for the past 8 months, as former Chief Farouk Sheikh was investigated by the Public Complaints Commission and eventually terminated after the PCC found evidence of dishonorable conduct. Davies and the city feel she is the right person for the job to lead the service as it turns a new page.
Uncertainty sometimes can erode public trust. I hope for the community that, they trust us and they know that we can move forward in a good direction.
That is priority number one for the commission, for the city, and again, I am a firm belief that Chief Davies has the qualities to make sure that we're on that path.
Davies credits her readiness to take on this new challenge to her former mentor and friend.
He's here today. Former Chief Evan Braves, a huge mentor of mine.
Former Chief Brace says he realized quickly Davies has what it takes to be chief.
People in the organization need to feel like they're valued by a chief, need to feel like the chief understands their challenges. This service is behind Laura Lee Davies as chief, and I have all the confidence in the world.
Davies will be officially sworn in as chief of police in the early new year. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Public Safety Minister Gary Amnandagransky says the federal government is launching a review of Canada's firearms classification, including consultations with Indigenous communities on SKS rifles. The government has been heavily criticized by gun control advocates for not including the semi-automatic SKS on the list of banned firearms. The SKS is commonly used in Indigenous communities to hunt food, but has also been used in police killings and other high-profile shootings in the past few years. A U.S. fighter pilot is recovering after ejecting from an F-16 before it crashed in the California desert. The pilot is a member of the Air Force Thunderbirds, similar to the Blue Angels. The squad is famous for flying tight formations during performances. The pilot was on a training mission when the jet crashed. Doctors say injuries are non-life-threatening. Netflix appears to be closing in on a deal to buy the film and streaming business of Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix has emerged as the top bidder ahead of Comcast and Paramount Skydance. The process started in October, with Warner Brothers hoping to have a deal in place later this month. If that deal is finalized, Netflix would acquire Time Warner Brothers Studio, the HBO Max streaming assets. Paramount has made the initial bid just to buy the whole company, but that was rejected before Warner Brothers put itself up for sale. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency says the 20 armored vehicles it's buying from the Canadian firm Rochelle are made in the United States and therefore fall under the Buy American provisions. The company's Brampton facility was chosen to build 20 vehicles for ICE, which is facing allegations of human rights abuses over its enforcement of the Trump administration's controversial immigration crackdown. In an emailed statement, the agency says production of the emergency response vehicle originates in the U.S. The Toronto Blue Jays are reportedly courting the player considered to be the top free agent available. Now, Kyle Tucker visited the Jays' spring training complex in Florida. That's according to MLB.com.
I think that Bo Bichette is still the most likely option. And it's a little bit concerning, I think. I think if you see Bo Bichette get signed first, then I think this debate of they get both really opens up, because that proves to Bo Bichette, and probably this whole free agency has proved to Bo Bichette that this team that wants to win, right? Signing Dylan Cease was the first step in all of that. But if they get Kyle Tucker first, that really concerns me about Bo Bichette's return, because instead of going to get him right off the jump, they're now going to go out and pay a free agent that's even more expensive than he is.
Tucker is expected to command a 10-year contract worth more than $300 million. Whew. that's a lot of money.
Yeah, imagine what you could get with that for Christmas presents.
We could buy a windshield wiper to clean whatever's on the camera behind you.
Yeah, freezing rain, if you're wondering. That just started falling a few minutes ago, so what a nice surprise for our morning commute this morning. If you're waking up with us in Regina, drive slow. Let's keep everyone safe out there. At least, though, we are seeing a mild temperature, -5 right now, so not so bad. Temperatures this afternoon also going to be not so bad, below the seasonal average. Regina expecting about -15. Saskatoon going to be a little bit colder this afternoon, -15, but -12 right now to start the day. North winds coming in at 30 kilometers per hour, and we are starting the day with some of that cloud cover. Not seeing that freezing rain, though, up through the central zone, so that's nice to see at least. Down towards the southwest, we are going to be seeing some more of those flurries into the later parts of this afternoon. Swift current can expect about 2 centimeters of snow this afternoon, and then a little bit of a break overnight before tomorrow morning. We are expecting a little bit more of those flurries down in the southwest, so another 2 centimeters of snow on the way for tomorrow morning. Then we're just talking about the later parts of the weekend. Not a whole lot happening on Saturday, but into Sunday morning, we are looking towards seeing some more of that snow falling around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, and Regina in the morning hours. Regina could be seeing it a little bit later on into the day, into the afternoon. Saskatoon, though, we're really only seeing it right now falling in the morning and then making way for a mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon. Current temperatures now, we're seeing Stony Rapids start the day at -23, -18 in La Ronge right now, -14 in Prince Albert, -11 in Hudson Bay. We are seeing some warmer temperatures down towards the south, and that trend is going to carry us into the afternoon. -3 right now in Swift Current, -3 in Assiniboia, and -5 in Estevan. Today's forecast, though, in the afternoon hours, this is around 3 p.m. You can expect Swift Current around -3 for Moose Jaw, -4 for Weyburn, and some winds down in Estevan, -6. We could be seeing those up to about 40 kilometers per hour in some places. And we, of course, have to talk about that wind chill, because as much as we're seeing those temperatures just slightly below that seasonal average, the wind chill is going to be making it feel colder. Saskatoon feeling like -22, Regina feeling like -20 around 3 p.m. 7-day forecast showing that we do have some more snow on the way in addition to what we talked about on Sunday. So we're right now projecting that to be falling on Tuesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow also going to be the coldest day in many places across the province for the 7-day forecast. In Saskatoon, that means we're looking towards a high tomorrow afternoon of about -21. So definitely bundle up. We talked about some snow on the way for Sunday morning in Saskatoon, but again, also expecting some more flurries in the afternoon on Tuesday and Thursday.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Let's go down the highway to Melville, Saskatchewan, and join the fine mayor of that city, Joe Kerwan, as we get an update on what's going on in that town. Joe, thanks for doing this first and foremost. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
The top story this week, of course, is the announcement that Bank of Montreal, BMO, is going to close their branch in your community. Just how bad does this impact you, and what are the calls like to your office right now?
Well, it's significant, and one of the things with the BMO is that they have been a corporate citizen in Melville for a very, very long time, and I don't know the numbers, but I expect they have a fairly large consumer base or customer base who have been very loyal, and now this changes things for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of us do some banking online and through the telephone, but the folks that don't, the elderly, I mean, they don't have the ability to walk into a branch and talk to a teller. They don't have the ability to, likely won't have the ability to access an ATM, a BMO ATM in Melville, which means that if they're going to take ATM or cash out of an ATM in Melville, they're going to pay fees or they're going to drive to Yorkton. So it's extremely disappointing. It's frustrating. And I have a sense of folks that I've spoken to, a level of anger. I mean, it came out of the blue. We're not alone. I mean, we're one of 4 in Saskatchewan, but it is disappointing for sure.
Let's switch gears. You did mention 30 minutes is the closest branch. That's going to be in Yorkton going forward. You got some major infrastructure projects that are on the go and nearing completion, some even complete. Just how exciting is it to get these dollars spent in your community?
Yeah, like we just completed a major wastewater treatment plant upgrade and a landfill, and the total cost of those two projects were slightly over $18 million. We were fortunate. We got about $7 million from the provincial and federal project or grant funds, but at the end of the day, we funded a little over $10 million locally, and that's a significant investment for a community our size. But it is critical infrastructure, and it will serve the community for a very long time.
Joe, before I let you go, you guys are taking steps to honor a former mayor in Walter Strelaski. How are you doing that, and why?
Well, okay, Walter's a unique individual. He served this community on council and mayor for 24 years, 18 as mayor, and Walter was a driving force behind things like our communiplex and different things. And we have the opportunity. We have a chunk of King Street that does not have houses on it. It's adjacent to the comp school, and we're going to rename that Walter Strelaski Way, and it's just a way for the current council and I think the community to say thank you, Walter, for all your years of service. And so we're quite excited about that. Council just passed that recently, and we'll be making that happen early in the new year.
Joe, thanks so much for spending a quick couple of minutes with us in your morning, and we'll do this again real soon, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You as well. Here's what's happening in our community. A Christmas tea and bake sale happens Saturday, December 6th from 1 to 4 p.m. over at the Broadway United Church on Broadway Avenue. Admission is $5. An old-time dance Saturday, December 6th at 7:30 p.m. at the Hazel Dell Recreation Center. For more, call 306-547-4284. St. Basil's Bake Sale Saturday, December 6th at 10 a.m. at St. Basil's Parish Center, 1717 Toronto Street. Christmas concert Sunday, December 7th at 2:30 p.m. German Club, which is at 1727 St. John Street. Call 306-352-5114. And a Christmas cafe held by the Regina Ladies Choir Monday, December 8th at 7 p.m. at Christ Lutheran Church, 4825 Dewdney Avenue. Admission by donation. If you'd like your event shown here, you gotta email reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance.
Now let's head back over to Sask Express and check in with Janelle Lepie and some of the cast of The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
All right, coming back to you from Sask Express here this morning. I've got Paul and Sadie with me. Now, you both performed in The Hunchback of Notre Dame last night. Now, tell me a little bit about both of your performance histories, because you both have incredible backstories here.
Yeah, I've been an actor for 30 years-ish, theatre, and more recently getting more film and TV work. And yeah, people can see me on the Netflix show with Jason Momoa called Frontier. That's probably the biggest thing I've done, but yeah, happy to be here, and the show's going really well. It's fantastic.
Well, that's incredible to hear. What a great story. Now, Sadie, tell me a little bit about where you started.
I've been dancing competitively since I was young, and in 2022 I got into theater, and I fell in love with singing and acting and dancing. And right now I'm obviously here at doing Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I am on Team Canada for World Performers Canada Cup in Ireland for this summer.
Wow, so both incredible stories here. Now let's shift over to what characters you're both playing.
Yeah, so I'm playing Archdeacon Claude Frollo. He's the Archdeacon of Notre Dame Cathedral, and he's the guardian keeper of Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so really exciting characters. Sadie, what about you?
I play the role of Esmeralda, and she's a gypsy who's just been welcomed to Paris, and she's a very strong-willed character who always stands up for what she believes in.
Well, really great. Awesome storyline. Some fantastic actors here to perform in it as well. Last night was opening night. Really exciting times here, you guys. Thank you both so much. We'll be back in just a little bit.
It's December 5th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Luke. He's turning 8 years old today. We hope you have an awesome day. This shout out coming from your grandpa and your Oma. And turning 1 year older than that, Theodore is turning 9 years old today. Happy birthday to you with lots of love from your mom and dad. Also celebrating today is Furious K. Happy 7th birthday. You have a lot of love and well wishes coming your way from mom, dad, and baby Tegan. Enjoy. Happy 40th birthday to Mike. We hope you have a fantastic day and fantastic year ahead. Lots of love from your mom, Steve, DJ, and family. Turning 30 years old today is Haley. Happy birthday to you. Your family wrote in to send you love and well wishes and wrote that they hope you have a wonderful birthday today. And celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today is Dennis and Martha of Esterhazy. Lots of love coming from your daughter Amanda, grandchildren, and great-grandchild. We hope you have a great day. And looking forward to the weekend, another 50th wedding anniversary to celebrate. Linda and Bob Hayes of Prince Albert are marking 50 years of love and devotion tomorrow. Congratulations. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now. But remember, please send those in 1 day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin.
Hey, what's going on the radio today, Chase?
We're on the search here. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be chilly, so like a good weekend to go in, do some Christmas baking. And anyone not doing the nuts and bolts this year, we're trying to help people out. We've got numerous texts coming in at 54321 asking, where can I find bugles? You know, the little finger hats, the delicious treat. They're a tough commodity to get here, and some regular spots that used to have them don't look like they have them anymore. So if you got a bugles guy out there, not opposed to buying them out of like the back of a van somewhere, if they're at a store somewhere, that's probably preferable too. But text in, you can help us out. You can text over to 54321.
I now have questions about which kinds of things you're buying out of vans.
Whatever it takes to get the nuts and bolts going, Daryl.
All right.
Whatever it takes.
Not all heroes wear capes. Have a good weekend.
Yes. You too. We'll see you Monday.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates. Because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
Country star Megan Moroney is going on tour. Starting in May, the singer will kick off her Cloud 9 tour in Columbus, Ohio, with shows scheduled for the Kia Forum in Los Angeles and the Bridgestone Center in Moroney's hometown of Nashville. After that, she heads to Europe for a series of shows. Tickets go on sale next week. Fan favorite Kate Walsh is returning to the long-running medical drama Grey's Anatomy. Variety reports she'll reprise her role as Dr. Addison Montgomery in one episode this January. Guitarist Steve Cropper has died, best known for his work in the soul group Booker T and the MGs. He also worked with Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, and Eddie Floyd. Cropper was 84. The American Film Institute has released their prestigious Motion Pictures of the Year list, the 10-film list, which is considered a predictor for the Academy Awards' Best Picture nominations, includes critically acclaimed films like One Battle After Another and Sinners, as well as upcoming releases Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Marty Supreme.
We're back. Exactly where we're supposed to be.
Disney has released its first teaser for Camp Rock 3. The film stars the Jonas Brothers, reprising their roles in the fictional boy band Connect 3, alongside a new generation of campers who are competing to be Connect 3's new opening act. Camp Rock 3 is set to air on Disney Channel and Disney Plus next summer. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And a happy birthday to Margaret Cho, who is 57 today. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Some people love pranking their pets, like this person.
Oh my God, you're pregnant! Oh my God, congrats!
Well, there's a dumb video for you. The cat's a male, by the way. Vet Tech thought this would be a good opportunity to make a TikTok.
Poor cat.
Yeah.
You're
I
sharing
like
him.
the reaction.
Look at his face.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you like it because they didn't put a funny sweater on the cat.
They're taking good care. They're taking good care of this pet.
Are they?
Finally.
It's a male and they're saying it's pregnant.
Responsible pet owners. It's a medical checkup. I don't think the cat actually understands what they're saying.
Of course.
All right, well, now to a mom's reaction after being pranked by her daughters.
go to the doctor. I truly need to. I need to go to the doctor. I don't remember any of these pictures.
This is so mean, but it is so something I would do to my mom. She thought she was losing her mind.
Word.
Her daughters convinced her that she wore this turkey costume last year with her grandkids and wanted her to do it again. They had the fake pictures and everything. Of course, that was AI. They did finally fess up at the end, though.
Oh, the costumes I can put on Kayleen Sawatsky.
AI.
You're going to be a turkey. You're going to be a mouse. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Time out. We're back after this. Thank goodness it is Friday, December 5th.
The route to the final, semi-finals, the quarter-finals, so all of those aspects really start from here up on this stage.
Before the games are played, the stage needs to be set. That's happening today. We'll tee it up coming up at 8:40.
I hope for, young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles, and I'm, certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Regina Police Service finally has its next chief, the first female to lead the force. Saskatchewan Roughriders breathe a sigh of relief. The quarterback is coming back. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. And thank goodness it's Friday is right. What's the name of that technical issue gremlin?
I call him Georgie. And
Georgie, yeah, he's visiting us today.
If I do that, sometimes it fixes things.
Oh, okay.
She hates
Georgie's visiting. Please be nice to us today. We're having some tech issues.
Oh, it's so fun. So fun. Let's continue to centralize. It's going great. 8:01. Let's get to news. We'll get to weather in just a minute. U.S. President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Mark Carney, and the Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum will all be at the FIFA World Cup draw announcement today.
3 North American leaders who've never been in a room together are going to have a visual of a happy moment, drawing some country names for the World Cup. Those of us who are looking for some hope right now, that just maybe, that at the end of the day, the right thing will happen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with the U.S. President at the Kennedy Center today. He'll also meet separately with the Mexican President, who will then meet with Donald Trump. The event is the first face-to-face meetings between the leaders ahead of next year's mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. The renegotiation period was set for 6 years. It was signed in 2020. Hearings have been taking place in Washington, D.C. on the upcoming review, and reports are that Trump could be considering leaving it altogether. The Energy Minister didn't participate in the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly as a deal for a potential pipeline took center stage.
The decision was made that some other ministers would come.
All ministers are always welcome. None are ever uninvited.
Energy Minister Tim Hodgson did meet with BC chiefs in a separate caucus room. He listened to their concerns over a pipeline to the West Coast and afterwards said any major projects like a pipeline could only be built with Indigenous consultation. Name changes can be refused for those convicted of a wide range of crimes under Saskatchewan's new legislation. New offenses that can prevent a name change include dangerous, high-risk, or long-term offenders, along with those convicted of fraud, certain drug charges, and murder. Legal name changes also require a criminal record check and fingerprinting. The province says the changes will help ensure people convicted of crimes can't escape the consequences of their past. The provincial government launched Phase 4 of its Face the Issue campaign at the Kramer IMAX Theatre in Regina on Thursday. Jacob Carr has more on the phase of the initiative planning to address interpersonal violence here in Saskatchewan.
Hi. Yeah, no, I know. Please don't yell. I've been in a meeting.
The big screen showed the debut of a short film focusing on the role of bystanders to recognize and respond to interpersonal violence and abuse.
It's so important for people to realize that just something as simple as saying, I noticed what's going on, I care about you, I'm here for you, do you want to talk? That is so important, and that can change the trajectory of what happens next.
Saskatchewan Justice Minister and Attorney General Tim McLeod McLeod talked about the importance of funding organizations such as Paths that are geared towards both helping prevent interpersonal violence and helping those affected.
We've got over $32 million being invested by our provincial government into this space, taking the issue of interpersonal violence incredibly seriously. In addition to funding our community partners and the supports that are offered in the community, the education and the awareness piece, we've also taken legislative changes.
Those legislative changes, according to McLeod, include Clare's Law, which the provincial government enacted in 2020, and the recently passed cyber-stalking course of control legislation. The government and Paths agree that the goal of the Face the Issue campaign is to first educate and, if possible, prevent interpersonal violence from escalating, but there are supports in place for people experiencing IPV.
So our member agencies at Paths do the really important frontline work. They operate emergency and second stage shelters and have counseling and outreach programs. And all of that is necessary after someone has experienced IPV.
You know, look, I know it's not exactly my business, but you don't have to deal with this alone.
Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Former director of a private Christian school in Saskatoon handed a 23-month jail sentence. Jeremy Dodge, we've been following this for some time. What's the latest here?
Well, Daryl, you said it, 23 months for John Olababokin. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon. He admitted he struck high school students with a wooden paddle while working at Christian Center Academy in 2003. Olababokin is currently serving an 18-month jail sentence in the community for a separate set of assault convictions. This new one will be served concurrently. Speaking outside of court, he said while he admits to hitting students, he didn't make the rules. A 9th person has been charged in connection to the death of a man last year. The remains of Tim Tatusis were found the evening of December 18th, 2024, when police were looking at a search warrant at a home in the 1700 block of 22nd Street West. Yesterday, members of the Saskatoon Police Service's Warrant Enforcement Unit arrested a 26-year-old woman. She has been charged with first-degree murder, offering an indignity to human remains, and unlawful confinement. She's expected to make her first court appearance this morning. A second man charged in connection with the death of a 31-year-old man made his first court appearance. 39-year-old David Glenn McKenzie charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, assault, and 7 other charges in the death of 31-year-old Chad Romanski. Romanski was reported missing in May. His remains were found near Highway 7 west of Saskatoon in June. McKenzie appeared by telephone and is ordered not to contact a list of 14 people, one of which is his wife. 30-year-old Gage Omer Buesler was also charged this week with first-degree murder in relation to Romanski's death. Well, Daryl, a group of retired soldiers were at the legislature this week, calling for recent heroic deeds to be recognized.
Yeah, and the last time a Canadian Forces member was awarded the Victoria Cross Medal was in 1945 during World War II, if you can believe it. Mick Favel reports.
The Wall of Honor at the Saskatchewan Legislature highlights people from the province who have received the Victoria Cross. Created in 1856 by Queen Victoria, the medal is awarded to those who have shown extraordinary valor and devotion to duty while facing the enemy. Canada created its own Victoria Cross medal in 1993, but it has never been awarded.
Many times, acts of valor have been recorded and moved forward for recognition, but alas, nothing has been done at this point in time. It's time to end that.
Valor in the Presence of the Enemy is a non-profit organization dedicated to honoring and supporting Canadian soldiers. They have been working with the province to present a motion in the legislature on Wednesday, calling on the federal government to establish an independent military honors review board to ensure acts of extraordinary bravery are appropriately recognized.
It has literally been 80 years since Canada last awarded a Victoria Cross.
Willie MacDonald served in the Canadian Army for 25 years. He was deployed to Afghanistan twice. It was there he was involved in a fierce battle at a Taliban stronghold in which many of his comrades were either wounded or killed. McDonald was awarded the Star of Military Valor for his heroic efforts and says that there are many instances of Canadian Armed Forces members displaying acts of heroism that deserve the Victoria Cross.
Do I think that the Victoria Cross ought reasonably to have been awarded to somebody? Absolutely. I do. And, you know, it's through the work of Bruce Moncur and General Rick Hillier, who started Valor in the Presence of the Enemy, that this is now sort of starting to see the light of day.
The Wall of Honor includes shadow boxes containing a photo and telling each recipient's story, and this group is hoping more can be added in the future.
The amount of VCs that are on this wall now compared to how many have been issued to Canada, you know, it just speaks volumes to Saskatchewan and, you know, what we've done for this nation. And once again, Saskatchewan's, you know, leading the way by pushing this forward and hopefully getting some federal support to reopen these books.
The province has written a letter to the federal minister requesting some files be reconsidered for a possible awarding of the Victoria Cross.
Really show the Canadian public that we value the selfless acts of courage that our armed forces have provided for us. We live such an insulated life from all of that, and so we need to remember that freedom is never free.
CTV News has reached out to the federal government for a response. Only time will tell if more names are added to the Wall of Honor. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Around Wascana Lake in Regina, a number of dead geese have been spotted on the frozen water, leaving some residents upset and confused on why they haven't been removed. Damien Smith reports.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Brent Tremblay was walking his dogs around Wascana Lake 2 days ago when he noticed some geese trapped in ice. He reached out to a wildlife rescue and Wascana Center Authority, who said there's nothing that they can do.
Very heartening and disturbing to see this on the lake and that nobody's doing anything about it.
Tremblay is passionate about human-to-wildlife connections. This summer, he says he fed over 1,000 cedar waxwings in his backyard after they flew south from the northern wildfires.
I have a sleigh that I could pull all my gear on the ice, and I was willing, you know, myself to do that. I was gonna put on a couple bell weights and a hook and try to cast out and catch the bird.
He was hoping he could help these birds out as well with his ice fishing kit, but decided against it. According to the Ministry of Environment, in the past month, they've received more calls than usual about birds frozen into lakes in urban areas.
In large-scale mortality events, oftentimes we do have to let nature take its course. It's going to be difficult or impossible to access or remove the birds at this time of year. Those carcasses will likely remain frozen until the spring. Eventually they'll thaw.
It's advised that those who come across similar situations, let them be, as it may not be safe to go out on the ice and the birds may be infected with the avian flu.
While it looks alarming, it's still a very small proportion of the population. So this is a small number of birds that, you know, may be immune compromised, that may be weak, that have died. So the public shouldn't be alarmed as far as, you know, the impact on the overall population.
Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders have signed their starting quarterback to an extension.
Harris, end zone! Touchdown!
Trevor Harris, how did I say that? Trevor Harris signed a one-year deal yesterday. In a video posted to social media, he says he's won. That's one with a W, not done. So he's gunning to win another with the Riders. They have 3 quarterbacks set to hit free agency, and Jake Mayer, Tommy Stevens, and Jake Cohn. Let's go ahead and give something away. It's a Friday. The gremlins bouncing around in our system. I'm saying Harris.
We're crawling to the finish line. We have 41 minutes until the weekend. I agree, though, Daryl. Let's give something away. Let's celebrate the holidays with Johnny Reed. He's coming to the Connexus Arts Center on Thursday, December 11th. Enter online now at ctvregina.ca for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the show. Now let's turn back to this very frosty morning view. Not a lot that you can see out there this morning. We are seeing some freezing rain in the area in Regina. It's just starting to push away from the city, but still, that is likely going to be impacting your commute. The road's a little bit slick this morning. Take it slow out there. -8 right now to wake us up in Regina. That is a little bit colder than what we saw about an hour ago. So temperatures have been fluctuating a bit. Winds right now coming in at 24 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon, -12. We are seeing some clouds to start the day and winds coming in at 28 kilometers per hour. Those are going to be slightly increased this afternoon. Some areas seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Radar and satellite showing again that system that brought some flurries and freezing rain overnight. We also saw some freezing rain overnight over in Alberta. So if you are heading that way today, again, drive very slow. Futurecast showing that we're not quite done with that precipitation in the province today. We are seeing some more flurries down in the southwest. Swift Current going to be seeing about 2 centimeters of snow, and those areas all the way from Swift Current down to the American border into the afternoon seeing those flurries. We do get a little bit of a break from that overnight, still seeing that heavy cloud cover, but then we do see some more flurries returning for Saturday morning, again impacting areas down in that southwest corner of the province. Once that system does leave, Saturday afternoon looking pretty clear into the overnight hours. And then it's Sunday morning that we are looking forward to seeing some more flurries around Prince Albert, Saskatoon. Regina going to be seeing it into the morning and afternoon hours. Saskatoon, we're more so talking about those flurries falling in the morning hours. Now, we just talked about 2 centimeters of snow falling today for Swift Current, but overnight, again, we're getting a bit of a break. And then tomorrow morning, we are going to be seeing about 2 more centimeters. So by this time tomorrow morning, about 4 more centimeters of snow in total on the ground for areas around Swift Current. Temperatures today looking warmer down towards the south. Once again, -4 for Swift Current this afternoon, -4 around 3 o'clock for Weyburn, -5 for Estevan, -10 for Yorkton, -14 for Prince Albert, and -13 for the Battlefords. Today, Regina seeing that high of -12 around 3 p.m. -16 on Saturday, -11 on Sunday. We just mentioned those flurries on the way for the morning into the afternoon in Regina. A mix of sun and cloud on Monday with that high of -5 and -3 on Tuesday, with some more flurries. In Saskatoon, -15 is the high today. Getting colder for your day tomorrow, though. Saturday is the day to bundle up. -21 in Saskatoon. Again, wind chill could be making it feel colder. And some more flurries on the way for Tuesday, as we mentioned, as we reach that high of -14.
Let's see if on this day is at least happy. December 5th, 1996, Robert Charlebois receives the Grande Médaille de la Chanson in Paris. The House of Commons passed a resolution on this day by MP Jean Augustine to declare February as Black History Month in Canada. That happened in 1995. And December 5th, 1991, gun control legislation was given royal assent, banning imports of automatic assault weapons.
In case you missed it, a newly hatched macaroni penguin chick has made its debut at a Texas aquarium. I have never heard of this brand of penguin, but this guy's just 1.25 kilos. He's a few weeks old, 90 grams when it hatched, and because it is a macaroni penguin, officials at the aquarium say they're going to give it a pasta-themed name like its peers, who are named Spaghetti, Linguine, and Bucatini.
It's just little, so it should probably be noodle, right?
They don't even know how much I love them. Oh my gosh, so beautiful.
I'm still waiting so impatiently for the province to do the name the snowplow thing here.
Oh yeah, so you can name it.
Oh man, I just so desperately want to name a snowplow.
I think it's mostly for children, and then they'll be like, this one was named by Daryl Arnold.
Yeah, weird. Weird how that happens. Hey, we finally got some Christmas sweaters to show off in our question of the day, because it is Christmas Sweater Friday.
Yeah, we had a few come in on our text line, so thank you to everybody who answered. This one came in from Bonita and Ginny in Prince Albert saying, work buddies, Christmas clothes every day in December. How many Christmas clothes do you have? This is just like Daryl with the socks.
I'm rolling through them. I got 20 pairs. I'm still going.
Every day, a new pair of Christmas socks. It's very impressive, very impressive. We had this answer coming in from Sheila in Regina saying, Merry Christmas, feeling extra Grinchy today.
Love it. Oh, good participation.
Yeah, and Jeremy is going, oh. This is Brew and Jax. Look at them, little wiener pups.
Hey, they're smiling. I'm okay with it.
I love that we've made this Jeremy's thing, right? Like he's so talented in so many things. He's known for being the hate sweaters on dogs guy.
That's who I am.
I am known for being a cat lover, but if I had to get a dog, it would be a wiener dog. So I love this picture.
Corgi, just their stupid little faces running through the snow. Oh, man.
So cute. Thank you for answering today's question of the day.
All right, let's pop back over to Mike Siona now, who is having a sweet Christmas morning.
Well, there is a spectrum of sweetness when it comes to chocolate, and Claude Hardin has been kind enough to bring us in here at Hardin & House as part of the Holiday Haul this year. To talk all about that, we are here at the storefront. I'm living a childhood dream here as a chocolatier myself for the next couple of minutes. Talk us through kind of the stages of chocolate.
Well, of course, if you want to present it that way, it's probably centering around sweetness. So milk chocolate tends to be a little sweeter, and as we go up the dark chocolate towards darker chocolate, it gets less sweet. And so if you are someone who likes to eat a lot of chocolate, generally speaking, you'll move away from the milk and towards the dark because it's not going to overwhelm you as soon. So if you're a real chocolate lover,
such as yourself, right? So okay, so that gives us a little hint as to the kind of palette that you might present here. And obviously, we can, people can come in here and choose one, build a gift basket, grab a variety of different products?
Yeah, of course. That's actually exactly what happens right here with the chocolate cooler and why they're presented like this, because people come in, they have their favorites, and just because I like dark, there's obviously a lot of milk. Some people prefer that, and you can come in here and assemble a box with any selection that you prefer, or if you know what your loved one prefers, and you come in and you pick it out. So that's half the fun as well.
Absolutely. Even just looking at these things. Now, you've selected, I asked Claude, I said, do you have a favorite chocolate? And this is exactly what I expected you said. These are three of my favorites, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of funny because when I come in the morning, you're having a coffee, and what do you want to have? I usually have a milk and butter, and it's, got a nice buttery flavor. I think that's great for the morning and with a coffee. And then, maybe in the afternoon, I'll have a horse head that's got hazelnut in it. And then later in the day, might have a rum barrel, anyway.
Perfect. One for a little later. Let's grab one of these. You said this is the perfect morning one here?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. GreatChocolate.com, by the way, is the website. Claude, cheers, my friend.
Yeah, enjoy.
Let's dive now into the effortless holiday edit. 3 simple swaps to instantly elevate your look for the holidays. It was curated by Afia Francisco, who joins me live now. Good morning.
Good morning, Kaylee. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for your time. So many of us get stuck figuring out outfits that work for both day and evening events for the holiday season. How do you simplify that?
You know what? I think let's just alleviate ourselves of unnecessary pressure by feeling that we need to wear something new every single time. If we have multiple events, I'm going to suggest leaning on 1 or 2 outfits that maybe can be swapped throughout the season, but then you have them as go-tos. You know they look good, you know that you're comfortable in them, and then when the time comes, you know exactly what you're going to wear, so you're not trying to reinvent the wheel every time. We're going to lean on a natural, neutral base like we saw it before with a sweater, which kind of tempers it for day, and then when we put it on around the neck, we suddenly see that sequined tank underneath, and that just elevates it for evening. And that's something as simple as you can do.
Well, what about for gifting this season? We want something that feels luxurious, yet is still accessible to all budgets.
Exactly. So similarly, it's going to say I love breathing, but I love cashmere. I love luxurious things that really kind of allow us to be practical because it is warm, but also elevated at the same time. I think that's the best combination, but at a price point that does not break the budget. This is from Marshalls, and I love the fact that it's a beautiful gift, from cashmere socks to sweaters, tees of the world. Those are hot stones there, just mindful moments that allow the recipient to indulge in time well spent. I think that's the best gift you can get everybody, and that's all found from Marshalls.
Some good advice there so far. I know there's a few of us after the show here that say we already want to go to Marshalls. But if viewers remember just one thing about simplifying their holiday looks and gifting, what should it be?
Okay, hit up Real Canadian Superstore because you know what? They really do everything for you. We're going to take the, again, unnecessary pressure out of getting ready. So, for example, regardless of the cultural traditions or holiday traditions, there's something there for everybody at great price points. If you're hosting, they have the things that you need. If you're gifting, they have great gift baskets like we're seeing here. But that work is done for you. So what I suggest is delegate where you can. Don't take on more than you need to. And if you enjoy the pomp and circumstance of it all, like Martha Stewart, enjoy that. But if that makes you feel a little bit nervous, lean in where you can for people to help. And that's the way to do it.
Afia Francisco helping us simplify our holidays. Thank you so much for your time and your advice this morning.
Happy holidays. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to your morning, Tansei Ani. It is time for your news. 8 months after former police chief of Regina, Farouk Sheikh, was placed on leave for complaints of misconduct, a new leader has been announced. Donovan Mace with this historic hire.
The Regina Police Service has a new commander.
The Board of Police Commissioners is pleased to announce the new permanent chief of police for the Regina Police Service, Laura-Lee Davies.
Davies assumes the role with nearly 30 years of experience within the service.
I'm here for you. You have my commitment to continue our focus on member wellness, fostering inclusivity and belonging.
As the 16th chief in Regina Police history, she is the first woman to have the title and the first woman to be appointed chief of a Saskatchewan police force, according to the city.
I hope for young girls and young women out there that they see that there's many opportunities in non-traditional roles, and I'm certainly hoping that some of them put their applications in here.
Davies has held the role as acting chief for the past 8 months, as former Chief Farouk Sheikh was investigated by the Public Complaints Commission and eventually terminated after the PCC found evidence of dishonorable conduct. Davies and the city feel she is the right person for the job to lead the service as it turns a new page.
Uncertainty sometimes can erode public trust. I hope for the community that, they trust us and they know that we can move forward in a good direction.
That is priority number one for the commission, for the city, and again, I am a firm belief that Chief Davies has the qualities to make sure that we're on that path.
Davies credits her readiness to take on this new challenge to her former mentor and friend.
He's here today. Former Chief Evan Bray is a huge mentor of mine.
Former Chief Bray says he realized quickly Davies has what it takes to be chief.
People in the organization need to feel like they're valued by a chief, need to feel like the chief understands their challenges. This service is behind Laura-Lee Davies as chief, and I have all the confidence in the world.
Davies will be officially sworn in as chief of police in the early new year. Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Was on this program earlier today. You can find that available right now on our website and YouTube channel. Ottawa's public safety minister says the federal government is launching a review of Canada's firearms classification, including consultations with Indigenous communities on the SKS rifle. Government has been heavily criticized by gun control advocates for not including the semi-automatic weapon on the list of banned firearms. The SKS is commonly used in Indigenous communities to hunt food, but has also been used in police killings and other high-profile shootings in past years. A uranium mine in northern Saskatchewan is one step closer to construction after years of discussions. Keenan Sorikon reports.
Everyone was in a celebratory mood Thursday with Métis Nation Saskatchewan officially signing off on Denison Mine's plans to build its Wheeler River uranium mine in the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan.
It's a big thing, and so we keep promoting economic development and education, but at the same time educating our people on the ground to be able to capitalize on opportunities that are available to them.
Our project is in the Métis homeland, and having this consent and support is significant.
significant for our ability to advance the project.
The Wheeler River project is the largest undeveloped mine in the region. Discussions over this impact benefit agreement began 6 years ago to find common ground, which wasn't easy at first.
It is a day that shows the strength of one voice, a voice that speaks for our people, our rights, and our future.
Located 35 kilometers southeast of Cameco's McArthur River mine, Denison is hoping to capitalize on the existing infrastructure in the area to launch its operations. And now that goal is one step closer to reality.
When we use the word partnership and collaboration, those are simplifying words, because the backing behind these agreements, these are deep agreements that have considered the input and the importance of many different elements.
Denison received environmental approvals from the province in July. After striking this deal, the next and perhaps most important hurdle for the project is the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission, who is set to hold public hearings in Saskatoon next week.
We're players now. We're being listened to, and we got to trust each other, and we do.
Once those hearings wrap up, the commission will take some time to come to its decision. If it approves, construction could begin as soon as March of next year. Keenan Sora Khan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Atlantic Canada will have to deal with a cold front and strong winds today.
Started the emergency assistance program a little bit earlier this year, and what we're finding is that more people are coming to us.
Halifax will have 4 shelters open tonight. PEI is planning to offer temporary shelter spaces for people in need of a place to stay. The ferries are closed. Schools are starting to be canceled. Nova Scotia Power has opened its emergency operations center. The utility is warning that the strong winds could knock out power to the northeastern side of Nova Scotia and even parts of Cape Breton. And as I always say, Kaylin, when I throw over to you, better there than here, but can't really see what's going on behind
Well, I was going to say, I don't think we can talk with the freezing rain outside right now.
Kind of looks like you're in one of those Zoom meeting backgrounds, right?
Oh, yeah, with the nice blurred background effect. Yeah. No, unfortunately, this is just freezing rain. It's not only freezing on our Skycam, it's also freezing on your roads. If you're waking up with us in Regina, take it slow out there this morning. At least, though, the temperatures have been milder this morning. We're at -8 right now, which admittedly is a little bit colder than what we saw about an hour ago, but still not as bad as what we have been seeing for the past few days at this time. Winds coming in right now at 24 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -12. We are waking up to some cloud cover, but at least that sun is now finally starting to come up. Winds going to be increasing quite a bit this afternoon for some places in the province. Up to about 40 kilometers per hour is where we're seeing them peak at. Futurecast also showing that we do have some more flurries in the area this afternoon. By about 5:45 p.m., though, the system does get smaller. By that time, though, Swift Current will have seen about 2 centimeters of snow. And then it's going to be exiting down through the United States, and then a little bit more popping up on the screen. This is at about 3 a.m. on Saturday, so Swift Current going to be waking up to another 2 centimeters of snow. By Saturday afternoon, we should see that clearing for the southwest into the evening hours. We're not really seeing any more pop up. However, it's on Sunday morning that we start to see some more snow making its way through the area. Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina also going to be seeing some of those flurries, and then down through the southeast, Estevan going to be seeing it into Sunday afternoon as well. Current temperatures now, we're seeing Buffalo Narrows waking up to -19, -15 right now in Prince Albert, -13 in Nipawin, and -13 if you're walking out the door in Melfort this morning. Down towards the south, we are seeing warmer temperatures. All those areas lit up in blue. That's where it's a little bit warmer. -2 for East End, -3 for Assiniboia, -4 in Weyburn, and -5 in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, that trend is going to continue on, where we're seeing warmer temperatures down towards the south. More so right around that seasonal average. To put that into perspective, the average this time of year is about -7 for Saskatoon and Regina. So it's going to be a little bit colder than that for those 2 major cities. Saskatoon peaking around -15 this afternoon, and Regina around -12. That's going to start at about noon and carry us into the later parts of the afternoon. Now, we talked about some snow on the way for Sunday morning in Regina, carrying on into the early parts of the afternoon, but we also have some more snow on the way for Tuesday and Thursday, according to our 7-day forecast. The coldest day also going to be Saturday, and that trend is really across the board. In Saskatchewan, we're seeing the coldest temperatures tomorrow. Of course, wind chill going to be making it feel even colder, so definitely bundle up if you have Saturday plans.
a niche tool for those with autism or sensory issues, weighted blankets have gone mainstream, promising calm and better sleep for everyone. Filled with glass beads or plastic pellets, they use deep pressure stimulation to mimic a comforting hug. Research suggests that the blankets may be beneficial for people with diagnosed mental health conditions. One study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep found reduced severity of insomnia in patients with depression and anxiety. Other studies report lower anxiety in psychiatric inpatients who use them. But for those healthy, many of the studies lack quality data and offer little proof that sleeping under a weighted blanket can help someone who is casually anxious, though it may be somewhat beneficial for shift workers and power nappers. Weighted blankets are generally safe to use unless you have a condition like asthma or claustrophobia. But check with your doctor before you crawl under one. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
The FIFA World Cup 26 draw happens today at 11 o'clock. You can see it play out live on TSN. It will determine the group stage matchups for the expanded 48-team tournament. Luca Calabria is with TSN Bar Down, joins us live this morning with what to expect. Good morning. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Luca, take us through the procedure for this draw for people who would not know what's going on today.
Yeah, I'll try and put it in the simplest terms because there are a lot of different convoluted and complicated rules that make this a lot more complicated than it is. But for Canada's purposes and for the host nations, USA and Mexico, they are in one of the 4 pots that will determine the 12 groups playing in the FIFA World Cup. Along with them are the 9 highest ranked nations in the FIFA ranking. So you've got your Argentinas, your Spains, your France, your England, all of those powerhouses in pot 1 with Canada, USA, and Mexico. Of those 12 teams, they're all going to be in separate groups to kind of hopefully, and I guess this is FIFA's way of hoping that these teams don't play each other until much later in the tournament. And then the 12 teams in pot 2, 3, and 4 are then divided into those 12 groups in a number of different ways. It's drawing balls, but also there are rules that go along the lines of European nations. There can't be more than 2 in a single group. So there are some other outside factors that try and make the groups a lot more balanced and don't have just 4 European nations, quite frankly, in all one. So those are kind of the procedure and how things go.
That clear as mud, Luca. Who are some of the teams Canada's trying to face, and who are some of they're trying to avoid at this point?
I think for Canada, I mean, luck of the draw is truly how this thing goes. But because we don't know every team yet, because of the European playoffs, and there are some other playoffs to determine the final teams in this, I think ultimate nightmare scenario for Canada would be having 2 European teams in their group. You could have like a Norway and an Italy potentially, or a Sweden and a Norway. Like 2 European nations along with another team in Canada is a tougher bounce for sure. So I think if you are going to keep an eye on a specific scenario, that would be one that maybe you're less excited about if you're a Canadian fan.
I like that we talk like 2-3 times a year, and you remember I'm Norwegian and shout out Norway as much as you can. A lot of spectacle happening with this draw. What can viewers expect from the TSN coverage that starts at 11?
I love it. I love it. Well, we've got you covered in all ways, shapes, and forms. We've got linear broadcast, obviously, of the draw, but we've also got the live stream on YouTube that you can watch. So a lot of different ways wherever you're watching from. And the spectacle is going to be great. I mean, they've got musical acts and athletes of the greatest caliber from other sports like Tom Brady and Shaq and et cetera that are going to be kind of involved in this draw ceremony. So it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to finally find out who Canada is going to be playing against, and it feels like the next big step as we get towards the start of the FIFA World Cup.
Putting you on the spot, take Canada out of the equation. Who are the top 2 teams?
Oh, I think it's hard to argue against Spain with Lamine Yamal. He is so good. They're the reigning European champions, and I would never count out a team of France's caliber either. They are stacked, and it's obviously led by Kylian Mbappe. So these teams have done it very recently on the world stage, and I expect really good things from both of them again in 2026.
Mbappe, best in the world, and that's going to irritate my producer, who's a big fan of Germany this morning. So that's a double threat. I like that. Luca, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You at home can watch the whole draw play out at 11 o'clock on TSN or TSN Plus and streaming on Crave as well.
Okay, let's check back in with Janelle Lippi down at Sask Express this morning for more on the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
All right, we're finishing up our morning down at Sask Express. But before we do that, there's still a little bit more fun yet to be had. I have Danny and Paul with me. Thank you both for being here. Now, Paul, tell me a little bit about your character and why you're so excited for people to come watch.
Yeah, my character starts off, he's an orphan, and he's taken in by the church at Notre Dame, and so he grows up in the church, and he succeeds very quickly in the church and becomes the archdeacon. The character itself is what drew me to even submit to Danny in the first place. It's just, for a Disney villain, he is just such a multifaceted, three-dimensional character. He's so much fun to play. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I can tell tons of hard work is going into that portrayal. Now, Danny, tell me a little bit about why Sask Express brought in the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily seem like the obvious choice for a holiday musical, but there's something so human and pure, and it's this great contrast of light and dark, and it's so real in what we're in. And so I think it's a story about belonging. It's a story about friendship. It's a story about that desire to be wanted, and we all have that, and it's how we surround each other around this time. And so to me, it's actually seemed very fitting. Plus, I just love the music so much. I mean, Alan Menken, Stephen Schwartz, the kings of musical theater, and especially the Disney scores, and you just can't get better. It's epic, it's huge, and people are going to be so wowed by it. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, this sounds like an incredible time.
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much for being here with me this morning. Now, before we wrap things up, Danny, I hear there's an opportunity to ring the bell.
Oh, yeah, you got to ring at least a bell one time while you're here.
Of course, let's head down.
Okay. Here you go. You're our next Quasimodo.
Amazing. Happy to be here. All right.
So that rope is for you. If you want, I can hold it for you.
Thank you. All right. Let's give it a shot.
There you go.
Yay. Oh, it's good. All righty. Well, that ends things for us here this morning down at Sask Express.
How are you guys connected to family again? Uncle Ned's kids.
You know Uncle Ned, Aunt Liz's brother.
Wedding Crashers is back in theaters for its 20th anniversary, screening on December 4th and 11th. Iconic actress Jane Seymour says she loved being part of the ensemble.
It was a masterclass or a master experience in comedy, because every single actor that they cast had a different style of comedy. And it was magical.
The Oscar-winning animated short War is Over is now on YouTube. Sean Ono Lennon and director Dave Mullins wrote the film about soldiers on opposite sides of a senseless war playing a game of chess with the help of a heroic carrier pigeon. The film, inspired by John Lennon and Yoko Ono's song Happy Christmas, War is Over, is now on the official John Lennon YouTube channel with a fundraising link for War Child, a non-profit helping children in war-torn areas. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's Chase from Pure Country Mornings back again to count down to this week's top 5. Starting us off at number 5, Tucker Whitmore and 3, 2, 1. New album coming early next year. Luke Combs is number 4 with Back in the Saddle. Riley Green going to be a part of Country Thunder. He is our number 3 spot with Ella Langley and Don't Mind If I Do.
And I don't mind if I do.
Up 2 spots from last week, Josh Ross, Hate How You Look is your runner-up. And 5 straight weeks at number 1. No movement there. Morgan Wallen, I Got Better is once again your top song.
Well, there's good news for an Army veteran in his 80s who's still working full-time to make ends meet. Now the internet rallying around to help him retire.
Just seeing if I could have help scanning this. Thank you. What was your name? Ed.
88-year-old Ed Bambus clocks into his grocery store job 5 days a week.
I'm 88. And still working? Yes, I have to.
The Army veteran worked for General Motors, but says his pension was wiped out when the company went bankrupt back in 2012.
The thing that hurt me the most was my wife was real sick. And when they took the pension, they also took the health care coverage. I sold the house, and we made it through. My wife died 7 years ago. Since then, I've been trying to reestablish myself.
His story catching the attention of Australian influencer Sam Wiedenhofer.
I'd like to share your story and try and, get people to help you retire.
Well, thank you.
This moment going viral. More than 8 million people have viewed the video on TikTok alone. Users commenting saying things like, "He's our grandpa now. We must do better for our veterans." And "Let's retire this sweet man." In the video, Sam gives Ed a $400 tip.
It goes a long way to help me.
But what Ed doesn't know is that the internet has stepped up in a big way, raising more than $1.5 million for this veteran. Ed's son, Mike, working on a plan to surprise him with the life-changing money.
Does your dad have any idea how much money was raised?
No, he is totally in the dark on how much there is. You hear a lot of bad out there in the world, but there's a lot of good too.
The kindness of thousands of strangers coming together, rallying to help one man retire.
We need a follow-up.
Truly heartwarming, isn't
Why
it?
did they end it there? This is terrible.
So they can do another one, I assume. So I'm hoping by Monday we'll have the follow-up where he...
Yeah, I'm on the end of my seat saying, tell him.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Let's get to our sidebar for this Friday. All right, Jeremy, take us to Germany.
Germany, where Clark Griswold-like has taken over. This family in northwestern Germany has again set the world record for the largest number of decorated Christmas trees in one place. Oh, boy. 621 trees in this home. This is the 6th time, I guess the 7th time they've broken this record. They fill the entire house, including the bathroom, as you can see. They start decorating in June every year. I don't know how you could even take that down in 6 months.
7th time, which means that somebody else is competing for this crown.
Well, what I was wondering is that, so they've broken it for the 2nd time. It's like they did it the 1st time and they said it's not good enough, or did somebody beat it?
That's what I mean.
I think they keep trumping themselves.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
That's how I understood it.
Okay, because otherwise you're going against, what, a festival of trees?
And then there's people who are debating how early is too early to decorate, and they start decorating in June.
Yeah, that's to me a little too early.
A little.
All right, we've got a special performance for you from our friends, the Notables, who dropped by to sing us some Christmas carols. Thought it was fitting in our Christmas sweaters, plus a look at some of the fine people who make this show possible.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, like a light bulb. And if you ever Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You'll go